just going to read a book now. It's called United Snap Up. I work in the Co-op Bank, which is fairly rubbish, and this is about the co-op movement, about the various contradictions in it. So, can you hear me? Is this working? Is it going on and off? United Snap Up. Scoured out, and can the fiduciary tin rightly be thought rinsed definitively, or kicked into the traffic be tactically upended? Stand on a dung heap, put up a slate paste table, put me up on it. Hit the rat claw back, the unamortized brand positioning swells off. Or can the guarantee not to be knowingly beaten on price in the long run pluck out the debits, pinch the risk candle lumped on the suspense slate drawn down, 2% or £2, whichever is greater? The virtual transfer is immediate, or can it be said to be so? Overnight tapes clang on, so first retailers to stock Fandy Chardonnay and snuff the iniquitous wick so tenderly out. We face up, beaming out fire kept back to illuminate row spread, branch out Costa Rican pineapple chunks by 1,000 cuts to achieve extinguish commission bounce the awareness day clean. Cork the diamond rattle bag, switch out, close the conflict mine. So deployable, you step off the narrow barge, drill in the call prefix, pith explosion, look at the charming grove, sustained in shimmering emission, pegged out over the electrified ground spread, cloud lawn, pink off distant shopping with attitude, load her up. Can we shrink under the fridge glare, like the good bacteria we all need and are denatured, the motionless ongoing silt up, poised for the dive like the total debit held off. Hold off, till nothing blows out. And nothing does. Split up the variety pack and the deep freeze can always gleam on you, committee face. Take stock. Keep your receipt pressed into this inflamed coding, bar ripple out permeable for wads in glorious transit, even-handed, ignited, and the lemony fresh foundations of this sunk chronically into the glass border. Can they be glorious? Popped out from the slack frame, export wound, all deluxe refitted in platinum mastic guns whipped round, and if only we had Asda's vision, things would roll like a funeral dash trolley plan through the wild aisles. Buckle it down, stub out the shame giant, blast tendrils calmly retract from the harness unit. Delirious, slide back, prepare, enter, and post the capital journals. On reflection, you recommend bright new launch day for store look. If more than a foaming pomade and you clam up, disassemble while you wait. The obsolete stock is not the stasis deterrent you need and can adjust to this in full when drop out. Next season, you black out on Felix. Cracked open is food you can trust. The subject conveyor, when toss a can in, stuck and then crushes it out, trundle on peeps and scatters bells through. The polywrap can, sliced apart, smoothly be allowed to drop. 6 months stamp products, we are all heads of diversity, breaking open the stored pack of a single flavour, and then you just put, of each colour, this wraps it round, you stack. Next season you cart the pallet off, wheels crunching, food can trust you. Position the message block, whichever the greater, sinking into your horny pension, lap up the receivables. Can we fly over the statement reserve, over its triumph lake ablaze with vapid credits, loyalty card pressed on your fair trade brownie? Or watch it, knuckle off, screen panning profitably forward, all the greater develop your serene harmony pot, silence and English skies, 10 new lines and tougher monitoring of retailers skipping tax discs on an electric pond, utility wine rack vaporized. The opposite of a wine rack, tossed to avid fire, espouse the drip key feed on forecast in hind rack. Well, tear off an alleviation coupon, walk on. Can drill out well and twist, put into it yourself, 6% and no walkout, slapping well, and can we touch down on the visa cycle, radiant and wisely shut off the pump, winch up the minus accosted, flip out into traffic, your flat wings and burnt off. Can the kernel shrink out like a nut, stored, divided, as the differentiated shop pericarp hardens, so we come to brand loyalty, the locule uselessly conflated, scaled up on its plasticized sill. Look hard, accretion does the visualized stripped-on stop. Relax in the sponge aisle. Nub in an uncomfortable elision on the compacted rind. Grown up, you expected quite as much, and the milk residue invert winds list over the tiling. Does this fleshy inner dividend become primary? Folded along the median line and shrouded out in till roll gorgeously to one row of ovules along the magnetic strip, a meeting and coalescing of the margins of each half in proportion to your free purchase. You get out what you put in, or a percentage. The juice and note folds back. Do you have a share coding valiantly to conceive discount as ownership and accept non-biological? The common bond is tenderly fiscal. Clap roots through the freeze unit, dial out, drop it on like receivership, bent double or sack the board, give it a stab. Loosen off, get slack up and tell our members what can the visible result being a miniature, closed, hollow pod with one row of ticker stars along the swipe card, call it off as legislative perfections bound up like a nut allergy. With delicious, nougatary, divvy lint puff to scorn into the axe, cross out to encourage firstly thrift. Hold a candle to this. The pack leaks off to a votary rave, dawn over Rochdale over. Without ruin appetite, not for vinegar splits, but for service. Like the phosphate meal, you came down in the last shower, scrub up, drain to face the salt test acquisition, crumpled trolley end bent up against the audit trail, give the hellacious shelf layout the push, reverse it, hot salt intake motorized on the basis of need, rack up the vinegar splash, proudly it, hydraulic saline ram, open wide. Mountain to the right scares off like ballistic pylons, web out on a probe run, browned out invisibility on an inverse updraft fluke. We took a risk, rating wisely, like we upped it anyway on second thoughts given the turnover. You'll need, for this game, to be spawny. Shell out, hand over fist. The prepayment assuredly tilts the glacier. Profit bear, thwacks off cable this back. Dress down for sport relief. Do it now. The revenue in advertising breaks new air in sensitive landfill boundary dump prestige. Ask Captain Absence Log why we are doing this. Risk-based, and you find scary half-mast barrier pins imaginary, and we rip through and boundaries are fallen out slack on the dirt strip, and over your dreams too, rips out gravel as free as a bird and charged at the standard rate. Equipped ferry tank lifts to the full balance displayed here and engineless held back like a zero probe. Clear down and resubmit. Push yourself, obstacle shredding vapor trail and fully committed appeal, run aground on a cloud bank, make a special note, take it to the ombudsman, pricked, shop soiled, middle management grubs, cohesive, peppered and ready to eat.